became queen of the land, saved her people. Chapter 6, which you can be reading shortly, focuses on Mordecai, Esther's guardian. Please turn with me to Esther 6, verse 1 to 11. I'm reading from the ESV translation. On that night, the king could not sleep, and he gave orders to bring the book of memorable deeds, the Chronicles, and they were read before the king. And it was written how Mordecai had told about Bigthana and Teresh, two of the king's eunuchs, who guarded the threshold and had sought to lay hands on King Ahasuerus. And the king said, "What honor or distinction has been bestowed on Mordecai for this?" The king's young men who attended him said, "Nothing has been done for him." And the king said, "Who is in the court?" Now Haman had just entered the outer court of the king's palace to speak to the king about having Mordecai hanged on the gallows that he had prepared for him. And the king's young men told him, "Haman is standing in the court." So the king said, "Let him in." So Haman came in, and the king said to him, "What should be done to the man whom the king delights to honor?" And Haman said to himself, "Whom would the king delight to honor more than me?" And Haman said to the king, "For the man whom the king delights to honor, let royal robes be brought, which the king has worn, and the horse that the king has ridden, and on whose head a royal crown is set. And let the robes and the horse be handed over to one of the king's most noble officials. Let them dress the man whom the king delights to honor, and let them lead him on the horse through the square of the city, proclaiming before him, 'Thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor.'" Then the king said to Haman, "Hurry, take the robes and the horse, as you have said, and do so to Mordecai the Jew, who sits at the king's gate, leaving nothing that you have mentioned." So Haman took the robes and the horse, and he dressed Mordecai and led him through the square of the city, proclaiming before him, "Thus is what shall be done to the man whom the king delights to honor." Wow, what an amazing story. God is good. We need to remind ourselves daily how mighty our God is. I would like to put the happenings which we just read into context. And I'm sure that this wow story will soon become even more wow. But before I do this, we need to understand that our Almighty God is all-powerful and can change situations if it is according to His purpose. We might never know His purpose, but just as Mordecai did, we need to know that whatever happens, such as the trials and tribulations which Mordecai faced, is according to God's purpose. Let's get into the context of chapter 6. At this point, Mordecai was a dead man, unless God did something that night. Haman, the prime minister of Persia, had arranged for him to be hung the next morning. Through God's control of hearts, minds, and circumstances, to fulfill His perfect plan, He inspired the king's insomnia that night. We need to keep in mind that God can control, but does not always control. Yes, He intervened in this situation, as it was part of His perfect plan. During that night, the king could not sleep, so he gave an order to bring the book of records, the Chronicles, and they were read before the king. If this insomnia is dismissed as a coincidence by some, how about this one? The book of records that the king wanted read to him was not just one book, but a collection of books. Thousands of events were recorded in these books. The Persians were very big into this. The Persians were world-renowned for their administrative care in keeping records. Of all the places that servant could have chosen to read from, he turned to and began to read the events of a conspiracy against the king, where Mordecai found the plot and informed Esther, who then informed the king. This is godly intervention, and it gets way better. This particular event took place 5 years prior. What are the chances of this particular event being read on this particular night? The king asks the servant in verse 3, what honor or dignity has been bestowed on Mordecai for this? In other words, what does the record show that I did for him some 5 years ago for saving my life? And the servant scanned the next few paragraphs and then responded, nothing has been done for him. This was highly unusual because this would have been rewarded on the spot. And that is why the king was expecting to hear what had been done for Mordecai, as it was a given that he would have been rewarded. Persian kings rewarded people for such acts immediately, but this never happened here. Another coincidence? I think not. This was a big deal for Persian kings, and the king would have now been excited to reward Mordecai and to rectify the situation. This was not the only excitement in the air that morning, as Haman had just finished building the gallows, and he too was very excited. So excited that he decided to go to work early that morning, very early actually. He expected to do away with Mordecai, who refused to bow before him. He also had a private dinner engagement with the king and queen that very evening. This was going to be the best day of Haman's life. The king said, who is in the court? Now Haman had just entered the outer court of the palace to speak to the king about hanging Mordecai. His attendants answered, Haman is standing in the court, king. Bring him in, the king ordered. When Haman entered, the king asked him, what should be done for the man the king delights to honor? The story gets funny at this point. If you remember that Haman was a very conceited man. He was incredibly proud of himself. Haman got excited, fantasizing about being the man the king wanted to honor. Now Haman thought to himself, who is there that the king would rather honor than me? So he answered the king, for the man the king delights to honor, have them bring a royal robe the king has worn, and a horse the king has ridden, one with a royal crest placed on his head. Then let the robe and horse be entrusted to one of the king's most noble princes. Let them robe the man the king delights to honor, and lead him on the horse through the city streets, proclaiming before him, this is what is done for the man the king delights to honor. Haman would have been super excited. All would now finally see how great he was. Now here is where the complete reversal comes. Go at once, the king commanded. Get the robe and the horse, and do just as you have suggested for Mordecai the Jew, who sits at the king's gate. Do not neglect anything you have recommended. So Haman got the robe and the horse. He robed Mordecai and led him on horseback through the city streets, proclaiming before him, this is what is done for the man the king delights to honor. That's probably exactly how he said it. Wouldn't they be very happy? Many things happened in these verses. God saved Mordecai. God rewarded Mordecai. And God dealt with Mordecai's enemy. Mordecai never expected any of these things, but God did it because it was part of his plan. What we need to focus on is the trust that Mordecai had in God's sovereignty and how he remained faithful to God due to this trust. Mordecai refused to bow to Haman. He was faithful to God. In chapters 3 to 4, Mordecai refused to bow down and pay homage to Haman, a high official of the king, as prime minister. Haman became infuriated and plotted to destroy all the Jews in the kingdom because of his pride. Mordecai had a lot to deal with. The trials he faced were extreme. You see, Mordecai worked in the palace, and he worked for Haman. He would have had to face this man every single day, watching his back permanently. To add to this, he also bore the burden of his people, as Haman wanted to kill all the Jews. He was faithful by not bowing down to Haman, knowing that this could well lead to victimization and probably even death for him and his people. God rewarded Mordecai, even though Mordecai never expected it. The reward was all part of God's perfect plan. We, like Mordecai, are also not expected to be rewarded. Nowhere did it mention that Mordecai expected to be rewarded for his faithfulness to God. So here comes the big question. We will always be rewarded for our faithfulness. But will we always be rewarded in this lifetime? The answer is no. If it is according to God's purpose, then it will be. If not, it won't. This doesn't sound very encouraging. Or does it? Everything we do, is supposed to do, and we're created to do, is to bring honor to God and glorify Him. We will probably never know in this lifetime how He will use us to do this. Whether it be by trials and tribulations we need to go through, so that others can see our trust in Him, and in so doing bringing them to the Lord. Or like rewarding Mordecai, and then even elevating him to Prime Minister of Persia. We will never know for sure. But when we know that God is in control, are we enduring for a reward or to bring honor to Him? Are we trusting completely in God's sovereignty? There is a very simple way to measure this. Have you ever asked yourself, or someone else, why God allows certain things to happen? Or why God rewards some and not others? If we are asking these questions, we are not completely trusting in God's sovereignty. In closing, I would like to leave you all with a reminder for personal reflection. We are a Christ-centered church. We are striving to be Christ-like. Christ trusted in the Father and His sovereignty completely. To what extent are we trusting in God's sovereignty?